Hello, Ravens fans, and welcome to our NCAA Diving Regional Preview. I'm Aaron Schneider, Sports Information Director at Anderson University, and joining us for our diving regional preview are two diving regional qualifiers, our two school record holders in everything Anderson diving, junior Halle Strege and sophomore Matthew Hayward. How are you guys doing today?
We're so good.
I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So first, kind of kick things off to, how are you guys feeling about this weekend?
I feel like both of us are super ready to tackle it head on. We're going to let the diving speak for itself. We're going to dive our spiciest, that's for sure. And most importantly, just have fun. We do have a lot of fun at practice, and we're going to take that to the meet this weekend too.
Okay. And then Matthew, how about you?
I mean, I'm nervous, but I think that we'll do great, to be honest. We just stick to our training.
Okay, and then this is something I just now kind of thinking about. And then Halle, this is for you. This will actually be your second time. Matthew, you qualified last year. The regionals were canceled, but Halle, this is your second time competing at the diving regional. How are things going to be different, like in terms of the mindset?
This year, compared to my freshman year, I gained a lot of dives that are harder. So that will be different. That's a different mindset to think of, because the harder the dive, the more points you'll get if you perform them well. So that's a new mindset that I have. But learning from regionals my freshman year, definitely just listening to music, having fun, talking to Andra and Matthew this year will definitely help, and having a teammate definitely helps too. So it's a new year for regionals, but I'm nevertheless excited for it.
All right, and then Matthew, I'll let you take the lead on this first question. So basically, what got yourself into diving?
So I started diving when I was like 7, and we had a little neighborhood pool that had swim and dive team for summer league, and I did like a year or two of prep swim at the time, and I just did not like it. So we went to the swim and dive signups, and I just marched up to the dive table. I said, I'm doing this. And I've been doing it ever since.
Okay. And then Halle, what about you? Sorry, same question for you.
I actually started off as a swimmer back in the 6th grade.
Okay, and then quickly on that, what did you specialize in when you swam?
I was a breaststroker when I swam.
Okay.
The breaststroke
Continue.
sprint. And so I did that for 6th and 7th grade, and then 8th grade, I saw all the divers doing all their cool tricks at the end of the pool. And I told my parents, I was like, that looks super cool. I want to try that. And so I did both. And then I realized how much I personally did not like swimming. I'll give props to all the swimmers for all of the hard work that they do, but I just feel like it wasn't for me. So I then committed full time to diving. And ever since then, I've been full-time diving, no swimming.
All right, so Halle, I'll let you take this next question first, and then Matthew, you can follow. I'm going to have you guys brag a little bit. At what point did you convince to yourself that you had a talent here?
At first, I wasn't planning on diving. It was my senior year of high school, and I wasn't planning on diving. And I wasn't even planning on coming to Anderson at all. And one day it just kind of hit me. I wasn't ready to be done. And I was ready to bring my talent, as you said, to Anderson and see where I can grow with that. And it's been super good so far. And I feel like having a successful and helpful coach as Andra has definitely helped Matthew and I through that, and just growing our dives, just perfecting what we can, and reaching out to other prospective athletes as well because of how successful we've been this past season.
Okay.
Your turn.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. Could you ask a question?
I mean, so basically I'm just asking, at what point did you realize in your career that you were good at diving?
I don't know. I don't really think I'm like good. I'm like,
He's good. He's good.
I would say probably more last year. I was like, Andre's honestly started helping me like realize I'm a little better than I thought I was, to be honest. But
Andra plays a very big role in that. She helps us. I feel like we tend to be more harder on ourselves because diving is such like perfectionalist. Is that a word? Yeah. It's more of that type of sport, and I feel like that impacts us super hard, and then it turns into a negative sort of viewpoint on ourselves, and we're hard on ourselves. But Andra is very big on having fun, and you do diving because you love it, and we are good at what we do because a lot of the things we can do, not a lot of other people can't.
Okay, now, and then here's another more of a follow-up that that'd be interesting to explain to those that don't really know a lot about diving, like that diving really is a very mental sport. Tell the significance that the mental game plays in the diving game.
It's actually really funny you say that, because Andra says all the time how we are mental divers. This means that we get in our head a lot and we don't really allow ourselves to have fun. But at conference this past, when was conference? Like 2 weeks ago? At conference 2 weeks ago, Matthew and I just bounced off of each other with our energy, and we just kept each other distracted from the competition, and just remembered that we do diving because it's fun, and you have fun in between it, and you cherish the moments you do have, and you learn from the mistakes that you do make. And it shouldn't be such a mental sport because you can only do it for so long. So we try and work on us not being mental divers, but it's definitely a work in progress all of the time.
Okay. Matthew, do you have any answer?
What?
Did you have any answer?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just honestly just she's our mental foundation, to be honest.
She's our big support system on the mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
All right, and then Matthew, I'll start with you. So on this next one, what would you say your best dive is?
Ooh, that really depends on the day. So there will be days where I'll be doing outstanding on my fronts, I'll say. And then the next day we'll work on it. And then they're all the way out in the middle of the pool. Or some days my inwards are really good. Honestly, I'll say my 403B.
Okay, so is there and then I know this would be kind of hard to do, but what's the best way to explain what that does? What that move is?
403B.
Yeah.
403B would be an inward 1.5 pike.
Okay.
So you're standing backwards, you're about to jump backwards.
Okay.
Instead of going backwards, you put your body in a position on the board for when you take off that you're over the board, but the board will push you out. So you're kind of pushing into the board and using that board to push you up and out as you're kind of hiking and then looking for your come out.
It's the dive that it's scary to most people. It looks like you're gonna like hit the board. So here's the
Yeah.
board, here's your head, and then you go up and in like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one. Okay. Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's a very nerve-wracking one to watch.
For a lot of people it is.
Can be.
What is Halle, what would you say your best dive is?
This past season, I feel like my twisters category has been my most consistent in being good. So my best dive this past season in that category was a back 1.5 with a half twist. And so that's where I'm at the end of the board and I'm facing the board.
Okay.
And I go off of the board. So board, me.
Yep.
I get off and then in midair, I'll do a half twist and then I'll
Okay.
land or
Okay.
go in the water facing the board.
All right. And then, so I know this is a trend around AU diving. If Halle, you want to start with, explain to the viewers what a spicy dive is.
We love this. We love this term. This has been our team motto ever since last year. Kind of my freshman year, not really, but we more embraced it last year during Matthew's freshman year. But a spicy dive is where everything in the dive is borderline perfect and all of it is super good. Your dive midair is flawless. Your entry is splashless. It's an all around well dive, performed well. That's as good as I can put it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have something to add?
Anything else to add to that? Or?
Honestly, a spicy dive. If you want to see a spicy dive, you just got to come watch our meets.
I think that's
That is true. That is absolutely true.
Spicy is as spicy does. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. So now a couple of fun ones. Been asked it. Matthew, you can start. So it's my understanding that when you compete in diving, particularly at conference, maybe they don't do this anymore, that you get a walkout. Do you have a go-to walkout song?
I personally haven't made it like first in prelims for a walkout song, but if I had to do a walkout song, I'd probably do Spicy.
I do.
Ty Dolla and Post Malone, and then maybe 26 by Camp. I don't know. There's honestly a bunch I would do. There's one more I can't remember.
Is the fact of the first one named Spicy planned or not?
So that is kind of funny. So Halle and I were looking for like songs for me if I were like make it for prelim, so I could get a walkout song, and I'm just looking at Spotify, and that was one of the songs that came up when I just put Spicy in, and I just listened to it, and it's honestly pretty good.
There you go. All right. And then Halle, your turn.
My freshman year, my walkout song was Boom Boom Pow by the Black Eyed Peas.
Okay.
I will never forget when we had to walk around the pool while this song was playing, and our swim coach at the time, Tanner Barton, was just dancing the most ridiculous dance he could towards me. I was like, oh no, please stop.
I can absolutely see that too.
It was interesting, and it definitely made me laugh and just made me loosen up a little bit and have fun. And this past 2 weeks ago when we had conference, I got to pick the walkout song again, and I picked Without Me by Eminem. And I mainly chose this song because since last year I was out for the season. And
oh yes, I like that's a good pick there.
Yes, because at the beginning of the song he says, "Guess who's back?" Back again.
Perfectly fitting.
Yes. Those two are, I definitely listen to those on meet days to get me hyped up for sure.
Mhm. And then, so I've been told to ask what your guys' best dance moves are.
I don't know if you're prepared for this, but this is what we do during practice. And then we'll throw it, I'll catch, and then I'll do this, and then I'll throw it, I'll catch. It's an ongoing process, but we had this conference last year, and the Franklin dive coach was like, "What in the world are they doing?" He was making fun of us the entire meet because that's all we would do. We do it at practice, we do it at meets. Ever since last year, it's just been a thing.
All fun and games with Franklin, though. We love them. It's
Yep.
like family.
All right, and then getting more closer to the end of things, what are your let me see, Matthew, I'll start with you. What are your goals? What are your goals for your for the diving regional on Saturday? What do you want to get at the minimum, and what do you want to what's your high end goal?
I guess I'd say the bare minimum I would want would be my best effort, to be honest. And like that's really all I could ask.
Okay.
Placing wise, it'd be awesome to go on to nationals and all, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not going to be too fixated on it. I'll honestly be happy with whatever outcome that I get. Like just like if I just give it my all, to be honest.
All right. And then Halle, on to you for the same question.
Okay. I would have to say the same, just to give my best effort. And I feel like nevertheless we do that for meets anyway. But for regionals it's kind of different because we have the goal of possibly going on further. But overall, I personally just want to have fun and take it one dive at a time and just be lighthearted and carefree throughout this entire meet, since it's going to be our biggest meet of this season so far.
All right, well, I think I've covered the questions I wanted to. Ravens fans, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow along with any more previews, any more content we may be putting out on YouTube. Of course, follow along with Halle and Matthew as they compete in their diving regionals this weekend. Halle will be competing in the 1 meter diving event on Friday at 7:30 p.m. Matthew will be competing in the 1 meter diving event on Saturday at noon. And then Ravens fans, again, thank you for joining us. And Matthew, Halle, thank you for joining us, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.